Hello, this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and today we're going to be making a card from Timeless Tropical. Isn't this beautiful? It's kind of like Hawaiianish. And this is part of the Timeless Tropical bundle. So you got your stamps and your dies. It also comes with the burlap and all the DS paper, and the embossing folder. It's really neat, and it's out of the new catalog. And out of the new catalog, if you purchase products up to $50, you can get something for free out of the little catalog, which is awesome. So here's the little catalog right here, SALE-A-BRATION. So you can get DS paper, you can get stamps. Look at this beautiful. I did a video already on the lily pad one if you want to take a look at that one. And it's just in the bees, and there's some flowers and the Asian stamps. It's a beautiful set, and you get stuff out of here for free. So when you order this bundle, you can get something out of the little SALE-A-BRATION catalog for nothing. So we're also going to be using another new one, Stitched So Sweetly. We're going to be using these dies here, everything except for the little one. So why don't we go ahead and get started? And this one's not too hard. What we're going to do is we're going to start out with the very typical 5.5 by 1/4 card base cut in the Poppy Parade. So this is Poppy Parade. And then we're going to get a So Saffron, and this one is cut in 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then we're going to also get the DS paper. Isn't that a beautiful DS paper? And this one is cut 5 1/4 by 4. So the first thing we'll do is go ahead and snail up the So Saffron and go ahead and place it on the card. Make sure you got your card opening the correct direction. And this is cut really thin so you can get just a little whisper of that Poppy Parade color. Now for this one, what we're going to do first is we're going to take the braided burlap trim, and we're going to have to hook it around the DS paper. So go ahead and take about 3 pieces of the tear tape adhesive that Stampin' Up! Makes. This stuff is great. This will hold on all your really heavy stuff really nice and secure. So go ahead and take 3 of them, put them on here, and then take off the paper. If you've never used this before, this is great stuff. This is definitely worth purchasing, not only for like cards, but if you scrapbook or anything like that, because this really can hold on, you know, embellishments really well. And then we're going to go ahead and find the middle going lengthwise here across your paper. Now if you have a little bit of that tape hanging out, just tuck it and go ahead and run it across. So I put one in the middle and one on each end because I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to hook it here. And then I'm going to go ahead and snail this up and put it on our card here. And you could decide which way you want. It really doesn't matter. So, and then put it on like so. The next part is we're going to be taking from the Stitched So Sweetly the second largest die. And on the Poppy Parade, you're going to die cut this piece here. Isn't that really cool? And we're going to take this, and then we're going to take the next one down. So this is like the second smallest one, and we're going to go ahead and take our 3D embossing folder. Now this is a 3D one, and it's the weave, the coastal weave. And with a 3D embossing folder, you have to get the 3D folder plate, and that's part number 149658. If you don't, it won't work. So what you do with the layering is you have your base plate, your folder with it facing just up like that, with your paper inside of it, and the blue plate on top and run it through. So base plate, your folder, blue plate on top, and goes right through. Now, you usually with a 3D embossing paper, you need to just spray it down with some water a little bit. But this time we don't need to do that, because what you're going to do is, I don't know if you can tell from the video, but I actually colored the embossing folder. So I took Poppy Parade and I inked this whole side. It's a side with a line on it that says Stampin' Up. This is the side that faces up. So go ahead and ink the whole folder and run it through, and it looks like that. So isn't that pretty? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your Aloha and put it in the middle, or put it anywhere really, and run it through. And what you're going to get is something like this. Now, and I didn't do it for the demo here, but when I did it, I actually ran this through on the page here, and I stuck the Aloha right in the middle. So I ran it through like this, but I wanted you to see that first, so I didn't. So let's go ahead and take this, and we're going to put it right in the middle on the plate here. So take your Aloha, and then you want to grab a piece of washi tape, and mind my head if I stick it in the camera here, and just line it up nice and straight, put a little piece of washi tape on it, and then take the other side of the plate, put it on top, and I just used my Sidekick. Anything really tiny like this, I like using my Sidekick because it's just so convenient. And then take that off, and then go ahead and remove the washi tape. Now be careful when you remove the washi tape so you don't tear your paper. And then that's it. So we've got those two pieces. And then you also want to grab a piece of soft saffron and run that same plate again. So take that same die, run it through, and make another one like this. So you're going to take this, and then you're going to take your silicone craft sheet. I always like using this because when you tape, you don't have to worry about it sticking to anything, because it really doesn't stick to this, and you keep your area clean. So we went ahead and we made a duplicate, because what we're going to do is we're going to inset the Aloha. I don't know if you can tell, but that's inlaid right there. Okay, and then you're going to take another piece of the Poppy Parade, and you're going to just die cut that Aloha. So now we've got, you know, Poppy Parade, So Saffron, Flirty Flamingo. I'm so sorry. This is Flirty Flamingo. And the ink that was used was also Poppy Parade. So we're going to take that. We're going to take our fine tip glue that Stampin' Up! Makes. This stuff is fantastic. I say it on every single video. But this stuff is really nice and fine. If you can, you can opt to get just a little tiny bit of glue where you want it, all over there, just like so. And then take a pair of tweezers, pick it up, and inlay it right inside. Well, that looks really nice. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put my dimensionals on first, because I know a lot of times when I'm laying down dimensionals, if there's something underneath it or on top of it, it's just one more thing to get in the way. So, and the way I'm going to lay my dimensionals is on the edge here in the middle, because we're going to be laying it over this burlap here, which has a pretty good amount of thickness. So we want to avoid the burlap. So I gave it a little gully there to go in. And we're going to lay it right in the middle. Okay, and then we're going to take our Aloha and snail that up. Get a little bit more. I ran out of tape. And put that right in the middle there. Bonk. All right, so that looks great. So the next thing we're going to do is our flowers. Now, these look really nice and bright. And how did I do it? Well, first of all, you got to stamp it. Now, I went ahead and made 4 out of the 5 we're going to use. So you're going to stamp 5 of these little flowers. But for demonstration purposes, I will do just my one and take you through the whole thing. So this is, of course, Poppy Parade. And this is just Whisper white paper. And I'm just going to use a block and stamp the flowers because it comes out pretty well. And then you're going to do this with colored pencils, believe it or not. I tried using my blending pens and I kind of didn't like how mushy the colors looked. So we're going to use colored pencils and we're going to use our blending pen. And the first thing I'm going to do is the yellow. So I'm going to do the middle in yellow and then I'm going to do the edges right here. And I'm going to probably speed this up. And then I'm going to take, and this is actually Daffodil Delight out of the watercolor pencil set. And then I'm going to take these two. We're going to take Melon Mambo and Flirty Flamingo. And the Melon Mambo I use to make all the shading. So all these lines that you see here, take your color pencil and push pretty hard and just outline the shading. And you know, when you're doing your 5 flowers, because I'm sure you'll just use one piece of Whisper White and stamp, 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 stamp. Make sure when you're coloring here that you don't run your hand across it because you will transfer it onto yourself and then, of course, the paper as well. So just make some really nice dark lines. And then you're going to take your Flirty Flamingo and you're just going to give it a good shading. Now the thing about watercolor pencils, when you hit it with that blending pen, it's really going to pop out and change a little bit. And even if you missed a little bit of a spot, like if I left a little white here, that blender pen is just going to blend it in anyway. So you don't even have to worry about being too meticulous about the coloring, which is really nice. So but yeah, I tried the blending pens, just didn't work. And then I was going to watercolor it, but my Stays On brown that's new, that comes actually with the bundle, is on back order. Boo! But that's okay. And I can just do it this way, and it just forced me to do something different. And that's the other thing good about Stampin' Up. I had more than just one way to do my stamping because there's so many ways you can color. I could use my write-on pens. I can use the watercolor stick and just go out of the stamp pad, but this worked great. So here's the blending pen. Now, if you've been doing a lot of other blending, you're going to notice the tip kind of discolors. All you have to do to get that off, if I were to change color here, is just keep rubbing it until it runs clear, and then it's all set to go, even though it's still discolored. So we're going to go through and we're going to do the pink. So you notice as I'm doing this, it really brightens up. And if there's any white spot, it just colors in really nice. So this one was definitely, and I stamped a bunch of these flowers and I did it so many different ways. This one was the best. So that worked out really well. So voila, and like I said, you just tap it until it runs clean. And then I'm going to show you how it does on the yellow. So even though I used that pink first, I rubbed it all off, and now I can use my yellow on the yellow, and it really comes out nice. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure you put that cap on really well because it'll dry out. And then I'm going to take my little sidekick again, and I'm going to take the die. There's 2 of them. There's a large flower and there's a small flower here. And then we're going to go ahead and line this up on my plate. And this is another one where you want to take a piece of washi tape and make sure it stays in place while you cut it, because if it moves, then you just ruined your flower and you have to do it again. So I'm going to line this up, washi tape it, Put that on, use my little sidekick, and run it through just once. Get this out of the way. And here we go. And that's how you make the flower. Now we're going to take our flowers, and like I said, I went ahead and I made them all. So you're going to make 5 of those flowers, and then you're going to take and put them on with dimensional. So we're going to take these 4 and we're going to stick them on the corners of the card, just like this. So you've got, and I kind of like put the edges on the DS paper like that, and that. And this is kind of a quick card. I mean, it does use a few supplies here and there, a few steps, but it's not like some of the other ones I've done that are a lot more complicated. And that's the front of the card. That was it. That's what I was talking about. And then the inside is really nice. Now this color is Pear Pizzazz, and that's really cool. And then here's where that 5th flower goes. So on the inside, you're going to go ahead and take your So Saffron, and you're going to cut it 5 1/4 by 4, and go ahead and mount that up. So it's a little bigger than the one on the front. And then you're going to take your Flirty Flamingo, and you're going to snail that up as well. This is kind of an easy card. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out the outline to the sentiment, which is actually this one. So we're going to cut this out in the Pear Pizzazz. Isn't that cool? Look at how cool that looks. This is such a neat little set. I have a feeling I'm going to be using this one a lot. So that's my recommendation, is Stitched So Sweetly. It's really cool. Then we're going to take this Poppy Parade again, and we're going to stamp that up real good. And this is, I'm not using the Stamparatus, because this actually comes out pretty well. And just put it in the middle and give it a nice pressure, but not too much because it's that orange stamp. And then lift straight up. See, that works really well. And make sure you close up your ink so you don't accidentally put it in your project. And then go ahead and snail this up and put it on your card off to the side a little bit. Okay, and then you're going to take your flower and snail that and put it right here. Now for the leaves, and you don't have to do this, but I thought it was kind of better that you take your little Pear Pizzazz piece of paper and your Pear Pizzazz ink, and take one of the sponges and go ahead and sponge it, because I didn't want it solid because it just kind of looks cartoony to me. So go ahead and close this up, put your sponge away, and get out the sidekick again. And we're going to cut the leaves. Now the leaves that I'm going to be using is this one here and this one here. So I'm going to cut these 2, and we don't have to anchor these down because they're not lining up to anything. Just put them on the paper right over the spots you ink the best. Run it through the sidekick. Get rid of this. And I just think that the leaves just look a little better. So go ahead and put these back on the magnet thing. And then take my silicone thing again, turn them to the correct way, hold that down, hold that down. And we're going to take this and we're going to put one here. And we're going to put one here. And that's it. That's the card. This is a really cool card that's not too complicated and uses a lot of the things that are in the Timeless Tropical stamp set and the dies. And like I said, that Stitched So Sweetly, I know I'm going to be using this a lot. And this actually matches another stamp set in the catalog, so very versatile. So this is a great deal. And like I said, the Timeless Tropical set, the bundle is really cool. I used the bundle and I got all these, plus I got some extra cards that came with it, and you get the paper and the burlap, and you also get these other little trinkets that go with it. It's really kind of a neat set. But if you want to just get the stamp and the die and maybe some paper, that works out as well also. So this is it. And if you get $50 worth of product from the catalog, you can get, like I said, something from free from the SALE-A-BRATION. It's really cool. I mean, who doesn't like free stuff? So anyway, and if you like my video, please subscribe. And whoever subscribe, if you haven't subscribed before, if you're first time subscriber, and if you subscribe, you will get one of these demo cards for free. Subscribe, like, and watch the video. So subscribe, like, and watch the video, and you get the demo card. I'll mail it to you for free. So that'll do it. But have a good day. Bye.